Okay, so web agency already knows you, Lindsay, but Lindsay has a lot of great insight as well because she worked at a PR agency before Salient PR. So I haven't discussed any of the answers to these questions with her of what I think it is. So it'll be good to kind of see what she thinks as well. So with that being said, Lindsay, I have maybe like 30 questions here. I don't think we need to answer all of them. Some just probably won't really apply to you. And if you feel like you want to skip any, just say skip. If you don't feel like you have anything to add or you've already answered it, we'll just move through it pretty quick. I'm just pulling up the Figma. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So, first ones are around like why you think clients consider well, no, I'm going to skip that one. Okay. Walk me through how you think clients usually search for and choose a PR agency. What channels do they rely on? Online research, referrals, ads, or something else?
Well, I think it's a mix. So I think referrals is a big one for PR agencies. Just because you want to know somebody is good, and word of mouth is like the best you can get. Other than that, I mean, Googling, LinkedIn, those kind of searches is usually where clients will start.
hmm
Um,
Okay. When clients are searching for a PR agency, what do you think ended up being the deciding factor for them and why? Did they mostly look at industry experience, reputation, pricing, team, or was something else tipping the scale?
um, I mean, for any business, I think price is a big factor. But I think industry specific is also one of the bigger important pieces. In my previous, we did a lot of clean tech. So people who were finding us were people who wanted somebody who knew clean tech. So
hmm Okay.
having that is important.
Um, and then what do you think if you were to generalize about if we had a potential client or you were at this other agency and there was a potential client and they were kind of considering hiring us or hiring you back then, were there any doubts or concerns that they may have expressed that made them hesitate on making that decision? And if so, what are the kinds of things that you would hear like over and over? Not necessarily like for a specific client and their specific, whatever need, but like if you could generalize about any of them, what would you say?
I think being burnt before is a big one, especially for startups or smaller companies. They'll go with somebody and they make all these promises and then they don't do any of them. So
Mhm.
burnout is a big thing that people resist. Um, Financials. I mean, a PR can be a big chunk of change. So making sure they're getting their value. They want to make sure they are um, making the best decision for their business. Let me see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Say more about burnout. Like, what do you mean burnout?
Working with another PR agency that just did a poor job.
Okay,
Uh,
got it. Okay, then sort of here's the inverse question to that. The client comes along, they ultimately end up hiring us or they hired your other firm. What do you feel like if you were to again generalize made them feel confident that they could trust us or them and then we could deliver results? What made them feel confident about their choice?
I think seeing passive examples of what we've done, whether it's case studies or on the website where you can put like clients you've helped, what you helped them with, different publications you've worked with, so they know that like you actually have experience in that. And then I think just that the interview process, like the communication, like talking to somebody, is going to be the next piece on that, is just like connecting with somebody. I think you can get a good vibe from someone. I mean, sometimes people are sneaky, but talking to them, you kind of learn like they know what they're talking about. They have examples and they can show their work, kind of thing, is what I
Yep.
think the most.
Okay. So if you were a client and you were to, let's put yourself in the shoes of a client and you were to name just one quality that they would be looking for above all others when selecting their PR firm, what do you think it would be?
Just one.
Mhm.
Hmm. I mean, it keeps going to my head. It's like more trust, because PR is getting all of this information that is very like almost secretive, but not really. But like you have all these announcements and things like that, that, you know, they're trusting you with their livelihood of their business, because we're the one trying to like get the news out. So they have to have a lot of trust in a PR agency to do, you know, to take care of that information, and then also trust to just do what they're said they're going to do. Um, so trust.
Okay.
That's one I keep coming back to.
Okay. If you were to say, like, we're, theoretically in a bake off with another PR agency and they're comparing us versus them, what do you think? How do you think they make that decision? What criteria do you think matters most to them, assuming like price is the same?
Okay. Experience, um, team, like who's on the team? Is it, you know, one senior person with a bunch of juniors who don't know what they're doing? Um, like, is that senior really involved? Because there's, you know, times in my old life where the senior was involved for that initial call and then they were never seen again. And of course, I mean, they're in good hands, but it's just different when you start with somebody and then they get handed off. So I think that can be something nice, a nice choice if that was an option. Mm,
Okay, great. That's helpful. Um, okay. And then when you think, clients came to your old agency or they come to us and they're thinking about, switching to a different PR agency from the one they currently have, what do you think specifically? Is there like one main complaint that you feel like keeps coming up with the previous partner, like that changes they want to see to be made, like this collaboration is going to be more effective because I want you guys to be doing X, Y, and Z better?
mm, Honestly, no. The only time like clients moved on was because they got too big and they took it internal. So I never saw it that way.
Okay. So we just say skip then. Let's just skip that one. Probably doesn't apply. Because I'm in a different section now, and I'm in the switching to new PR agency section. So let me scan these to see which one of these would be a good ask to you. Um, well, let's say you're,
I can give hypotheticals.
No, it's fine. I think most of these are like from switchers, so it's like it's not really all that applicable. We talked about some of these already. Okay, so what do you think are like the doubts or concerns that most clients would have before choosing an agency? And yeah.
I mean, I think some clients might be like, well, we can do this internally. And they don't
Mhm,
realize all of the work that actually goes into PR and like all the stuff that we do behind the scenes. Like they just get like, oh yeah, we got wins. They don't know
mhm,
what we did to get that. So I think
yep,
sometimes they don't think they need it
mhm.
or they're not ready to jump in because they just don't understand. So I think that's a key piece. Um, what was the question again?
No, that's it. You answered it. I'm just going to see what's over here on this other side. This other section is about first experiencing realizing you needed a PR agency. So um, it's kind of hard because you're trying to answer this and you aren't the client, but like if you ever, and we can skip this. I'll ask the question. If you don't feel like you have a good answer, let's just skip it. But basically, like if you were, you know, working at this other agency and a new client comes in and they're talking to you about what they need or something, was there a moment you think that they realized they really actually needed PR support? What was missing at that point? Why did it feel important that they had to get PR?
I'm gonna skip that one.
Okay.
I don't think I'm
So
there.
yeah, it's fine. I'd rather you not make it up, like than just if you have something that you feel like draws on your firsthand experience, tell
Mhm.
me. If not, we skip it. So for the clients that were kind of coming in the past agency you worked at, like how long had they been considering hiring a PR partner before they finally decided to move forward and be like, okay, we need to hire you, and this has been on our mind for whatever, weeks, months, days.
I'm gonna skip that one because I was never in that early on
Okay.
the call.
Then most of these, I think, we just skip these in this section because a lot of it is like the whole like before they get to hiring you and all of the psychology around that. And I'm just going to let my actual clients be the voice
Yeah,
of
that makes sense.
truth for that. Um, but this is applicable. So would be like on the current collaboration. So you could talk about this with just through the lens of Salient PR and all the clients that we work with, which is, and this is again, you'd be pretending you are the client, but I think you can speak on behalf of them because they've told us feedback before. Um, can you think of a moment when you felt genuinely good about the results we achieved together, when you thought, yep, working with them was the right call?
I feel like one client in particular would come to mind um just based on all of the coverage and the reports and everything the open communication all the time, the regular meetings. I think they've been wowed on just how we run the business and how we continue to like keep them updated. We give them access to everything, media lists, trackers, all of the above. So I don't know if you want more detail on that.
That's good. I guess if you were to say, though, to sum that up, um, because that's a lot of things. If there was a specific moment where you feel like that particular client like was like, "Yep, I made the right call." It could have been around we got the results we said we would get. It could have been around the process and the logistics we put in place, how we ran meetings, the general vibe of the team, and the fit there culturally, or something else.
I think it's more the logistics and how we run it and how we involve them in the whole process personally. I mean, the coverage comes and goes, but
It's
We're very,
this. I just had another call with someone where she said one of the most important factors that she looks at, it was like hustle, when they like are like evaluating PR agencies, and that's like the one quality she wants. I kind of think a little bit that that's what you're saying. It's like all that stuff that we're doing, the process and the logistics, it's all like showing the hustle in a way. Because it's like they're seeing these things are getting created and they're seeing all of this stuff that's happening. And they generally are clued in as to what the next step is, right?
yeah, versus where it's like silent for 2 weeks and then they're just like, oh, here's this. Like we're always,
Mhm.
showing the work, the hustle.
Yeah. Okay. Um, when this is the last question, and then you're done. If you're, one of our clients at Sailing PR, and they're evaluating the effectiveness of our PR work, what do you think matters the most? How do you think our clients know that the partnership is delivering results?
That one can be a little tricky. But I mean, I think the wins for them, the wins, the coverage, the podcasts, the publications. That's the tangible things that like
Yeah.
matter to them.
I mean, we're in the business of getting wins, right? Not to be their therapist. So I would agree with you. I'm trying to look and see if there's anything else on here. No, that's it. Okay. That's all. We did it. And it wasn't too bad.
I
Wasn't
hope
too long.
I got you some answers. I hope.
Yeah, this is great. And I think you'll be the third interview. I'll have potentially one more. So they'll get a total of like 4 different perspectives, which in addition to my own. So yeah, there's great stuff in here. And I think you answered things differently in some areas than I would have. So it's good to get different opinions in here. So thank you so much.
Don't worry.
Appreciate it.
Talk to
Okay.
you later. Bye.
Bye.